Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Well, it appears the country is headed for mortal combat where the issue of Portmore's status as the country's newest parish is concerned, because the PNP have made their feelings clear. They will not sit back and allow the government to push through legislation enabling Portmore to transition into the newest parish, the first since 1867. Fitz Jackson is the Member of Parliament who is tasked with representing the opposition's perspectives on matters concerning Portmore, and he's here by himself. No encumbrance in his way whatsoever. He's here to make the case, to solidify the case in your minds, hopefully, why this move is a bad one for the country at this time. Lead story starts now. Right, so it's the debate that we heard raging in the Parliament last week when the House of Representatives met, and you heard the strident voices from both sides of the political divide sparring over Portmore and its transition into the country's 15th parish. That's what the Holness administration is working to achieve. The opposition, every chance they get, have said, not on our watch, we will fight it all the way. This does not make sense at this time, especially given the glaring lack of consultation opposition members say around this move by the government. Well, just in case you've been absent, you've been away, you've not been paying attention to this issue, just what is the issue that's at stake?
Has become the latest theater for the political warfare, as the political parties in Jamaica strategize in their barracks for the impending general elections. The Portmore municipality is dominated by the opposition PNP and has been since the mass movement of residents into the largest community in the English-speaking Caribbean. Many of the early housing schemes in the dormitory community were built under the Manley administration, with the Siaga administration overseeing some and more under the Patterson administration. Simply, Portmore has been a citadel of PNP traditionally, but the JLP has made inroads, winning 1 seat in 2016 and capturing 2 seats of the 3 in the 2020 election. The latest census completed in 2011 had Portmore at 182,000, but the community has ballooned in residents and has seen many residential and commercial developments since then. Portmore was granted municipal status in 2003, giving residents the right to directly elect their mayor. For context, in other parish councils, now municipal corporations across the country, residents vote for councillors, and the party with a majority in the municipality selects from their caucus the mayor. Notably, the PNP secured the first mayoral win in the municipality with George Lee, and the JLP was only able to secure the seat of the Portmore mayorship once, with Keith Hines, who was only to last 1 term until the local government election delivered the mayorship back to the PNP, with former councillor for the Hellshire Division, Leon Thomas, taking the helm of the municipality. Now the move is for the municipality to become a parish. What does this mean? Well, politically, the Portmore councillors who currently sit in the municipality meeting and the St. Catherine Corporation are now councillors in the parish of Portmore, and the halls of the St. Catherine Parish Council will see the images of a new mayor being mounted. Portmore residents also will lose the right to directly elect their mayor, to which the PNP has rejected and even labelled the move as gerrymandering. The governing Jamaica Labour Party is remaining firm in its commitment to granting parish status to the municipality, arguing that Portmore, with its growing population, economic development, and distinct governance structure, has long outgrown its current designation. Mark Golding, the opposition leader, has criticized the proposal, stating that it lacks proper public consultation and does little to tackle pressing issues such as inadequate health care facilities, traffic congestion, and crime.
Mr. Speaker,
The two current mayors of Portmore and St. Catherine were both duly elected in February last year, less than a year ago, in fact. One directly by the people in Portmore, and the other by the elected local representatives of the people in St. Catherine. They both hold office as an expression of the democratic will of the people. This bill will destroy the expressed will of the people.
Despite the controversy, the government has signaled its intent to push forward with the legislative process to make Portmore a parish. Whether the opposition will succeed in stalling the move remains to be seen. But for now, the battle over Portmore's future continues.
The 15th parish of Jamaica. And I have to say that as a proud tax-paying resident of Portmore, I, along with thousands of others, believe that it is our time that this border is changed.
To expose deep political divides.
Thank you, Nika. All right, after the break, Fitz-Jackson holds court here on Lead Story.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Watch the exclusive broadcast on CVM as the Jamaica Tourist Board proudly presents the annual Golden Tourism Awards ceremony. This prestigious event is dedicated to honoring tourism workers who have served 50 years or more in the industry. In addition to recognizing long-standing contributions, we will also highlight hotel partners who have played a pivotal role in the growth of the industry. Tune in Wednesday, February 19 at 8 p.m. and be part of the celebration of these golden achievements.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV, talking Portmore now, and we decided to hear again from opposition and government side, but rather than have them both on the same program and try to cram everything in, we've given the discussion room to breathe, and so we've given Fitz-Jackson this Monday to make the case once again and to also set out the basis for the opposition's rejection of what the government is doing. I put it to you, well, welcome to the program, Fitz, of course.
Pleasure being here with you. Good evening to you and your listeners. Viewers.
Thank you. And of course, the Member of Parliament for South St. Catherine. So I put it to you this way. Portmore, if we're using the most recent census numbers, which are very old now, it is larger by population than 8 parishes. It is larger even than St. Anne, which of course is the largest parish by area occupied. But it has more people than St. Anne does. And it is bigger, more people than 8 parishes. It has so much going for it. More development orders to, of course, usher developments than every other parish except Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine proper. What is the issue if a place this big, growing at this rate, becomes the 15th parish of the country?
First of all, what is the criteria for establishing a parish?
That's not established on the law.
Exactly, there's none. And the decent thing to do was for the government to begin to set out was as a policy that goes across partisan line. You're talking about the structure of our country. We have 14 parishes now for over 158 years, I think. 158 years. And we have 14 parishes because those imperialists, before, they divided up the land to satisfy their various landowners. That's how the Counties and Parishes Act came about. That same act that Mr. Oles and his team is now using to divide up the parish for political reasons. Very interesting. Constituency boundaries are not determined by landmass. It's determined by population and voting size, voters on the list, because it's representation of people and not representation of land.
Yeah, and by that you mean that there's a minimum number of electors who should be in each constituency as well as a maximum number.
Exactly. Good. And such was the case that in 2010, 2011, there was a redrawing of boundaries to keep with the constitutional limits, minimum. And so you had 2 additional seats came into St. Catherine. The third one went to St. James because of the sizes of the constituency, with the population dispersion there. In 2010, 2011, thereabout, the exercise started through the Electoral Commission of Jamaica with both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, as is the convention and practice since 1979. Right. In that exercise to create the 2 additional seats in St. Catherine, 2 came that side. South Central, a new one, which is where to the west, on the Wheatley is. And then you have East Central in the Portmore area.
Yes.
Ironically, at the same time, the electoral office, faced with the challenge of the boundary for the municipality of Portmore, put it before the both parties to do 2 exercises at the same time. Establish a new boundary for the Portmore municipality because the 2003 boundary was an interim boundary because it needed it to have the place ready for the election that the people wanted. Right. Residents said we didn't want another local government election without our own municipality, and the government sought to facilitate them. So it was understood that that would be an interim boundary. Can't go to the east, can't go. We know the natural boundary to the north, which is the bypass and the River Cobre, and you can't go south with the sea. The only place you could go is west. The question is where. So we said, let me put that one side until later. However, the residents of Portmore were so particular that it required from the government to put in law, in statute, that when those boundaries for Portmore will be changed, the politicians, the government, can't do it unilaterally. So there was a requirement for 1/7 of the registered voters in the existing municipal boundary to have a yes-no vote to give assent to any boundary change. What this government is seeking to do is to rip that away. But I'll come back to that in a moment. So about the new boundaries. In setting the municipality boundary, we had a situation prevailing since 2003 up to then, where two constituencies, South St. Catherine that I represent, and the other one, East Central, spans 2 municipalities, Portmore and St. Catherine. But because it was established as an interim boundary in 2003, the time come now to adjust that. So it was decided between both sides that make sure that the Portmore constituencies would fall only in 1 municipality. So the boundaries for the 3 would make for the boundary for the Portmore municipality. Easy. The Jamaica Labour Party signed off on it. Their signatures are there. Said this is fine. At the time, there are communities like Caribbean Estate that never existed in 2003. Right. So it never fall within the Portmore municipality. It fall outside, which is Spanish Town. But it would be rectified once the new boundary was rectified. Everald Warmington was not satisfied. He believed that the government, that they should have a different boundary, not the one that comes through the EOJ. And so he has been campaigning, as he testified publicly a couple of years ago, that he has been fighting it. the government of Mr. Holness has acceded to Mr. Holness, to Mr. Warmington's fight.
Yes.
And he prescribed, Warmington, with the concurrence of the government, redraw the boundary for the municipality and redraw the boundary now to make not a municipality anymore, but a parish with another objective.
Hold the point. We have to take the break. This is Lead Story here on CVM TV, giving Fitzjackson the time to lay out the basis for his opposition to the government's move to make Portmore into the country's 15th parish.
Steve knows style.
That jacket! When was you in the Temptations? You are my alter ego.
And Steve gives in to his own temptation. Family Feud.
Brought to you by
SLB empowers my future.
A top 3 contender all season, Mobay United look to continue their good form in 2025 as they host Tivoli Gardens in Monday match night. Monday, February 17 at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. Kickoff is set for 7:45 p.m. The boys from Mobay want to keep the pressure on the leaders. Tivoli, on the other hand, came out the wrong side of an 8-goal thriller in their last Monday match night outing. Keep your eyes glued to this one. We could see goals galore. It's Monday match night, February 17. Kickoff at 7:45 p.m. live on CVM TV.
Monday match night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
You know, sometimes these conversations can get lost in the noise and the energy from both sides of the house, and we've decided to strip away some of that and to give you a clear picture, just for you to understand both sides as you try to make up your mind as to where you think truth lies in this battle over Portmore and its transition into the country's 15th parish. I have Fitzjackson here with me, is the MP for South St. Catherine and the opposition's point man on affairs concerning Portmore. So you set out in that first segment how the agreement around boundaries were to be drawn and how the JLP has been pushed into a new direction by the entreaties of the Member of Parliament for South West St. Catherine, Everald Warmington. I'm looking at something here, Fitzjackson. I want to speed us up along. 2 committees formed. Weekly, Delroy Chuck, Marlene Malahoo Ford, Everald Warmington, Homer Davis, Robert Miller, yourself, and Denise Daly. That was the House of Representatives Special Select Committee. You were supported by a Special Select Committee from the Senate. Leslie Campbell, then Senator, Natalie Campbell Rodriguez, then Senator, Shireen Golding Campbell, still a member of the Senate, Delroy Williams, a former member of the Senate, Damon Crawford, still in the Senate, and Floyd Morris, still in the Senate. And those 2 committees worked together, and they had an arrangement whereby they asked people to come and make representation. Now, I go here because you've consistently said there's been no consultation. So I say to you, how do you then explain this report from these special select committees outlining the number of institutions and people they have met with, including naming Ulrich Campbell, your colleague in the PNP's, the Council for the Edgewater Division, Krisho Holmes, the caretaker for the Waterford Division, the Portmore Leadership Council, and a slew of individuals and other businesses in Portmore who they consulted. 14 meetings, including 2 virtual town halls. They took written submissions from the people. So the government has this on paper and says, how then can Fitzjackson say there was no consultation?
Hogwash. Hogwash.
So this report is hogwash?
First of all,
Yes.
that joint select committee, there's a minority report from the People's National Party.
Yes.
So don't give the idea that we concurred with that report. We didn't. And we stated it in the minority report. Secondly, There were 2 virtual meetings of those 14 that you referenced to, where members of the public could participate during COVID.
Yes.
28 persons came on the Zoom.
Yes.
That is the citizens' participation. 28 persons. The many meetings you mentioned about in that report, look at the committee it stocked with JLP members.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Well, I don't know from the individual. You would tell me. Because you know canvases and you know names.
No, it's not to canvas. It's there in the report.
No, I'm saying that there are individuals here. Jason Winter, Cliff Drummond, Peter Thomas. I don't know their affiliation, but I'm just saying.
They're there.
Yes.
But take that as it is, as I say. Does that make for sufficient consultation? The municipality of Portmore, which I oftentimes say was not created by the People's National Party. It was created by the residents through their community leadership. Over 9 years, I was at the 40th anniversary of the Portmore Chorale last evening, and the members reminded me, it's over 9 years they spent going to various citizen associations across Portmore to get their input, both in the idea, the form, the structure, and the operation. Are you going to tell me about 14 committee meetings in Parliament is to uproot what the people have created?
So here be this then. If it is that you're saying that Portmore residents have not gotten a fair shake where the opportunity to consult is concerned, and that this is a Portmore residents' business, why then is the PNP calling for a referendum on this subject? A referendum is a national exercise, as you know. So why is that necessary?
A referendum can be prescribed. It can be a referendum.
If it's localized, it wouldn't be a referendum.
Referendum can be prescribed, right? All whole country, just a section of it. But a referendum on the whole country will be quite pertinent. Why?
Why?
We have 158 years since we have 14 parishes in Jamaica. How did we come about with 14 parishes? It preceded us in the colonial days. What is the criteria for a parish? Do we have too many parish? Do we have too few parish? The structure of the country should not even involve us, the people of Portmore and St. Catherine alone.
Well, I say this to you. You asked the question earlier, what are the criteria for a parish? And of course, as I said to you, that's not listed on the statute.
No.
But what the committee cited here, the committee that you were a part of, you say you produced a minority report.
Yes, but it does not reflect what the majority said.
It looks at the size of the location. And as I said to you, Portmore is larger than, by population, than 8 parishes. Hold on, I'm giving them to you. They say where roads are concerned, there's proper ingress and egress. And they say that while there is no hospital, they have type B and type C facilities, which are better than the facilities in about 3 named parishes. And that there are more markets in Portmore than Manchester, and there's another parish, maybe St. Mary named. And that where recreational facilities are concerned, Portmore meets the mark. Where decentralized government offices are concerned, Portmore meets the mark. I'm reading from the report here now.
Yes, and the whole public can listen to that. All that is slow of foolishness.
Oh, yeah?
We don't have a market in Portmore. We have some vending areas.
They say Aki Village is a market.
If that goes for the market for Portmore, God help us. But come back to the point you make about us being a parish. And all those amenities, all those were done without being at a municipality nor it being a parish. What's the point I'm making?
Yes.
Development at the local level is not dependent on the tag. Why is it that Portmore has better roads than many other parishes in Jamaica? Why is it that there are more development in Portmore than many parishes in Jamaica?
Because Portmore is newer than many parishes in Jamaica.
Because it's not a prerequisite for development activities.
That is true, but
there's another goal. This thing about parish will make you better. It's the gerrymandering of political boundaries and political advantage. Don't let us go beyond that. Because the first question you have to ask, what is the ill? What is the wrong that is being corrected? There was a failure prior to 2003 that the people of Portmore, not the politicians, not the PNP saw, governance. And they decided that they want their own governance structure. Guess what? It's better than many of all the other parishes in Jamaica. What the Portmore municipality has as a governance authority is superior to all the other parishes.
But it's the only party in Jamaica where councils sit in 2 municipalities?
Because they wanted it so. In Kingston and St. Andrews.
Is it to best effect, Fitzjackson?
It is. Yes, it is.
So the arrangement in Portmore, where you sit in Portmore, is it better than anywhere else?
It is.
How?
Let me tell you.
Yes.
First of all, in Kingston and St. Andrews, you have 2 parishes.
Yeah, well, effective, but one council.
No, you have 2 parishes.
But one council.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because it works for Kingston and St. Andrews.
Yeah.
In Portmore and St. Catherine, we decided we want something else.
Yes.
Is it the government's wisdom is superior than the people of Portmore?
I noticed that.
So why is the government not prepared to yield to the people of Portmore?
I noticed that the opposition has not said it does not want the transition. I noticed the language from the opposition is that
I can tell you what the opposition said.
We want to put it to the referendum. We want to put it to the people.
I can tell you what the opposition. I speak on behalf of the opposition.
What is the position?
We say in much the same way as what exists in Portmore represents the thinking, the aspiration of the people of Portmore that they created. Should it be modified in any way to be less than or more, the people must remain at the center of it. If in so doing, it emerges to be a parish or a county, they might want it to be a county.
So when are you going to court?
We will go at the appropriate time.
At the appropriate time. But you are going to court?
If we need to go. But if good sense does not prevail.
The government has said it is not turning back.
Well, they said so with the NIDS bill.
But NIDS was stopped in court.
Right? They stopped in court.
Yes.
I'm hoping that they would have grown in wisdom.
Yes.
And that growth will cause good sense to prevail. In January last year, before the local government election, the Prime Minister did the intelligent, wise thing, and he pulled back. I only asked the Prime Minister, let good sense prevail.
He wasn't as far along in the process, and he'll say that his proposal to make Portmore into the smart parish was made in the House from 25 years ago. Why now are you making noise?
Political party's promise must supersede the will of the people. I hear the JLP talking about it was an election campaign.
Yes, it was in their manifesto.
It was in their manifesto. It was not an item on the ballot. Was it?
I hear you on that. No,
was it?
It was not on the ballot.
It was not on the ballot. No. They said that they would have referendum for other things and they don't have it yet.
Yes.
So why is it? Because there's a political advantage for them.
So put this on the referendum ballot.
You can do it.
I hear you on that.
You can do it.
I hear you on that.
And I want one thing in closing.
Quickly, I'm finished.
One thing I'm closer. The convenience of a political party must not supersede the express will and desire of the people of this country.
Hear you on that. Fitzjackson strident and clear as to what the opposition's position is on Portmore. They're saying that they will do what is necessary for the right thing to happen.
Certainly.
Nico Lewis is standing by with the news at 7.
You don't want no people in your business.
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
Reggae is global. Reggae is everywhere.
Yeah, reggae is my life, you know, because if it wasn't for reggae, I don't know that workhouse thing did or something.
We have something which the world crave even right now. Reggae is internationally known.
I am a Jamaican.
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock.
CVM News Headlines Monday, brought to you by Hawkeye Electronic Security Limited.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, opposition pressures government over Bolt's missing millions. JLP demands answers from opposition leader over KSAMC remarks. Tourist killed in Trelawney collision. In the business report, it's another small biz, big dreams. And in sports, Captain Khadija Bunny Shaw left out of Reggae Girls squad.
CVM News Headlines Monday brought to you by Hawkeye Electronic Security Limited.
I enjoy helping people, and being a part of the highway patrol team, I get to help people all the time. Drivers can be confident that we will be there for them if they ever need us.
We started in 2003 with a vision for making Jamaicans' lives easier, and we'll never stop working for you. Our new vision involves building a legacy of excellence that inspires and empowers our customers and stakeholders. Highway 2000 East-West is now Trans Jam Highways for your best journey.
Do whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Now available in hot and spicy. KFC, it's finger licking good. The Time by KFC.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Monday, February 17, 2025. Thanks for having joined us. It's an abbreviated newscast making way for CVM TV's Monday Match Night, starting at 7:45 p.m. The opposition is ramping up pressure on the government for a second week, demanding answers on the Usain Bolt fraud. Let's take that again. The opposition is putting pressure on the government for a second week, demanding answers on the Usain Bolt fraud saga. With $12 million, nearly $1 billion Jamaican dollars still unaccounted for, they're questioning the government's handling of the case. Their calls come as Bolt's frustration grows, reigniting public debate over the high-profile scandal. Ramon Gordon has the details.
The billion-dollar Usain Bolt saga seems just about ready to climax. The multi-gold winning sprint icon broke his silence on the infamous matter on a local podcast recently, where he says over the lack of update on the case.
The government alone really can't do nothing. Big boy, this is no answer. And them are the only person who can go in and say, yo, this need to fix.
Yeah.
You understand?
And how active are they in it, in the case?
It's been 2 years.
Political trolls attacked Bolt online, the opposition taking wind. They're now turning the heat up on the government for a second week, questioning their stewardship of the matter.
It is a disgrace. The man invested his money for his retirement in an institution regulated by the Jamaican regulatory body for investments in the country. And there was a massive fraud going on in there.
US $12 million, or nearly $1 billion Jamaican dollars. That's the size of the missing purse. It's ostensibly become a new PNP talking point ahead of the general polls. Party Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell also taking aim.
And whenever you talk, they want to shut you up. Usain Bolt come out and talk, and Venetia Phillips had jumped down him throat. It's like you can't say nothing.
Andrew Holness had money in there. And Andrew Holness take out his money and leave Bolt and others to suffer the massive losses of, in his case, millions and millions.
Usain Bolt recently spoke out about the missing funds from his account, saying, like we heard earlier, that the government should do something about it. His comments have been interpreted politically, but his lawyer, Linton Gordon, clarifies that Bolt was speaking as a concerned citizen, not making a political statement.
At a later date, the Jamaica Labour Party will issue a statement concerning the vulgar and inappropriate comments made by Mark Golding. I promise you, we will issue a statement in the coming days concerning the attempt by Mark Golding to seek political clout.
Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
After more than 3 years as an independent MP, George Wright is officially back in the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. His re-entry was confirmed last evening when he made his debut appearance at a JLP youth event, solidifying weeks of speculation that party officials were considering his reinstatement. Wright's return comes ahead of general elections expected by September, with the JLP yet to announce a candidate for Westmoreland Central, the seat he currently holds. In 2021, Wright resigned from the JLP under public pressure after a viral video showed a man, allegedly him, assaulting a woman with a stool. Both he and his then partner filed separate police reports about an altercation, but neither pursued charges, eventually getting married.
Newlywed? Yes. Really? I'm informed that you're recently married. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much, madam.
And let me put on record, I hope you'll be an excellent husband.
Still on politics, the Jamaica Labour Party is in a state of unrest following the opposition leader's remarks on the ongoing alleged scandal in the KSAMC. Today, the party called attention to the various concerns they have with the party's president's statements, and that should be with the PNP president's statements. Trisha Gay Kelly shares the details of that briefing.
The verbal tug-of-war between the country's two major political parties continues as the Jamaica Labour Party has taken the matter to another level. The JLP is now calling for proper acknowledgement by People's National Party President Mark Golding, as well as the resignation of Mayor Andrew Swaby over an alleged money scandal. Golding's initial statement on the matter was seemingly not enough for JLP members who called a media briefing on Monday to highlight the concerns. An alleged money scandal within the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation is still in the headlines as the JLP pushes for Mayor Andrew Swaby's resignation. On Monday, JLP members referenced a voice note which seemingly revealed partisan consideration for employment on a beautification project. Government Senator Abka Fitzhenley highlighted the implications such acts can have on political representatives.
This systematic approach as confirmation that the KSMC is approaching the affairs of governance and distribution of resources in a manner that is unacceptable, questionable, and flies in the face of principles of impartiality and fairness, which should govern the use of public funds.
In recent days, the JLP has called on opposition leader Mark Golding to address the matter, and he did respond following the reopening of Parliament last Thursday.
There's absolutely nothing untoward that we're aware of. This is a mountain, this is a much ado about nothing and an attempt to create a scandal where none exists. And so I have nothing really more to say about it at this time, other than to say if any investigative agency wants to investigate, please do, and we will support that investigation.
Golding's response, however, did not sit well with the JLP. Senior member of the party's communications team, Senator Marlon Morgan, says the opposition leader has failed to acknowledge the severity of the situation.
The Jamaica Labour Party finds the response of the PNP President Mark Golding to the KSAMC PNP corruption scandal contemptuous of the Jamaican people, dismissive and downright disgraceful. The unbecoming response from Mark Golding has again confirmed to Jamaica that he is not fit to lead this country.
The JLP also has questions around an alleged contractual arrangement between the KSAMC and a PNP political operative in the St. Andrew West rural constituency. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
Well, certainly Trisha Gay will have more coming out of that press conference, am I right?
Yes, we will, and we're expecting a response from the PNP actually tomorrow, since they'll be hosting a media briefing as well. And it seems the focus would have shifted from the scandal itself to them saying that the mayor is being biased because his alleged assistance is going only to PNP members and not to the JLP members.
Interesting times, but continue to watch CVM News at 7 for more, and we'll have more for you right after this break.
all fish farmers and all fishermen. Catch a new wave to get your license in your hand. Irie fins are the new sensation. Easy way to get your registration.
My youth, come off of the phone. We need to finish with the fish then.
Not forward, man. Should have started some license from the airplane system. Applied fee 2 days ago.
Then you really expect to get it already?
The airplanes, just 3 to 5 days processing time for regular fish farmer license. How long waiting? Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Airplanes come to make life easy. A fish farmer, fish vendor, fisher, and fish worker need to register. As real fisherman have a license.
Irie Fins, the new system for fishers and fish farmers. Register today for an easier way. Irie Fins is a joint project of the National Fisheries Authority and the Transformation Implementation Unit.
The future is here with Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited. Educom and Gateway have joined forces to bring you more convenience, innovation, and opportunities to achieve your dreams. Enjoy excellent service and seamless financial solutions, all designed for your lifestyle. Whether it's loans, savings, or insurance, we're here to make your financial journey effortless. Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited, where possibilities are endless.
The future finds us faster than we think. But with CIBC Caribbean on your side, you'll be ready for all of it. That's how we've served Jamaica for over 100 years with industry-leading digital capabilities and innovative solutions. And it's how we'll do it for 100 more. That's the power of banking better together. Come, see what that looks like for you at CIBC. Ambitions made real.
The time by Grace Good Move is 7:45.
Thanks for staying with us. Continuing the news. With a near 50% reduction in major crimes for the year so far when compared to the similar period in 2024, the Hanover Police are hopeful they'll be able to maintain gains and build momentum in 2025. Last week's outlook by the head of the Hanover Police, Superintendent Andrew Nish, proved inspiring for many stakeholders in the Western Parish. Major crimes in Hanover are on the decline and by some 48%. That's among the highlights of the division's commanding officer's presentation at last week's Municipal Corporation meeting.
We tackled the latter part of 2024. And so we managed to reduce murders to 48 in numbers, 33.3% reduction. That was last year. This trajectory, this downward trajectory, continues into this year. We are now at February 13. Presently, for the entire parish, Hanover has only recorded 2 murders.
A breakdown of the situation revealed that murders have also been slashed with continued efforts to include curfews in the latter part of 2024.
Also for this year, we have recorded 11 major crimes since the start of this year. I'll give you a quick breakdown. Green Island, 2 murders. Kingsville, 1 breaking. Lucy, 1 shooting, 1 breaking. Imagine that. Ramble, 0. Clean slate. No murder, no shooting, no rape, nothing. Sunday, 1 breaking, 1 blasting. Portmore, 1 shooting, 1 rape.
He's hopeful too that with support from the stakeholders, the parish can return to peace and productivity.
With your help, the community engagement, and the team that we have presently working as best as possible to make Hanover a safer place for all.
A Canadian woman has died and several others injured in a tragic 2-vehicle collision in Trelawney. The incident has left the community in shock as authorities investigate the cause. Britannia Witter has more.
A tragic collision on Sunday resulted in the death of 60-year-old Kelly Stewart, a businesswoman from Ontario, Canada. The crash occurred on the North Coast Highway near Bowgate, Falmouth, involving 2 vehicles, a red Toyota RAV4 and a white Isuzu box truck. Stewart was seated in the rear passenger seat of the Toyota when the crash happened. Her family, including her son William and daughter Emma, were also injured, as was the driver of the truck. Preliminary investigations suggest the two vehicles collided while traveling in opposite directions, leaving all passengers severely injured. They were rushed to the Falmouth Hospital for treatment. So far, 48 fatalities have occurred on the island's roads this year, a 4% decrease compared to the same period last year, according to the Island Traffic Authority. However, authorities continue to stress concerns over persistent road rule violations by motorists.
Motorists on a whole just pay blatant disregard for the rules of the road and have been making poor judgment. If we were to look at this accident scene and see exactly where the collision took place, you would have seen that one vehicle have absolutely disregarded the rule of the road, that is to keep left.
Meanwhile, Manager of Corporate Communications and Public Relations at the Island Traffic Authority, Dante Matthews, reiterated the call for road users to obey the rules of the road.
As pedestrians, as passengers, as motorcyclists, as drivers, we must do what it takes to stay alive in 2025 and beyond.
The investigation into the cause of the crash is ongoing. Britannia Wito, CVM News.
We now go to regional and international news. We begin with news in the region. The Barbados Agricultural Society's BAS's plans to import 600,000 eggs to address a current shortage should not push small farmers out of business. That's according to the BAS head recently. More from Barbados today.
We currently have eggs being produced in Barbados, and I want to make that very clear. It is not to say that eggs are not being produced. The challenge that we face right now is that the demand for eggs is outstripping the supply of eggs. Right? So they are seeing demand coming from areas that we did not see before. So therefore, we have to respond. In terms of egg production, you don't wake up and decide that you're going to grow a layer. A layer takes 6 months from the time it is born before it gives an egg. So it is not something that we can respond to the market instantaneously.
In international news, a Delta Airlines plane has crashed while landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport, according to reports. Up to 8 people have been injured. The airport says it is aware of the incident involving the plane, which was arriving from Minneapolis. It adds that, quote, all passengers and crew are accounted for and that emergency teams are responding to the incident. Photos on social media show the plane flipped upside down in the snow. A medical transport service in Ontario says it has transported 3 people with critical injuries to different hospitals, including a pediatric patient and a man in his 60s. That's it for regional and international news. Well, Jordan now joins us in studio to tell us more about what's coming your way later on in sports.
Well, Nika, you know the Reggae Girls will be playing 2 friendly matches against Peru, but Captain Khadija Bunny Shaw is not in the squad. I'll tell you why. Plus, of course, the big Monday night match night encounter between Montego Bay United and the Tivoli Gardens taking place over there in Montego Bay. Those are coming up in sports.
All right, looking forward to it. Do you have a team?
No, I don't.
All right, not a problem. We take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself do it for you, do it for you. Every time you a link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
I remember the first time I tried the toad one. It felt like it was in foreign, in a first world country. Such a good feeling to see Jamaica look so. Yes, man.
We started in 2003 with a vision for making Jamaicans' lives easier. And we'll never stop working for you. Our new vision involves building a legacy of excellence that inspires and empowers our customers and stakeholders. Highway 2000 East-West is now Trans Jam Highways for your best journey.
A top 3 contender all season, Mobay United look to continue their good form in 2025 as they host Tivoli Gardens in Monday match night. Monday, February 17 at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. Kickoff is set for 7:45 p.m. The boys from Mobay want to keep the pressure on the leaders. Tivoli, on the other hand, came out the wrong side of an 8-goal thriller in their last Monday match night outing. Keep your eyes glued to this one. We could see goals galore. It's Monday match night, February 17. Kickoff at 7:45 p.m. live on CVM TV.
Monday match night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
The time by Grace Good Move is 7:45.
Welcome back, and you're just in time for a business feature, Small Biz, Big Dreams with Adrian Williams.
For today's episode of Small Biz Big Dreams, we'll be talking to persons in the hustling, bustling streets of Halfway. Society may see these persons as not so successful, but they are using their abilities to make big dreams. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this episode. We first check in with confectioner Joel Williams, known popularly as Sweetie Man. He tells us how this disability he has been living with from a child has not handicapped his entrepreneurial ability.
I just feel like to do this because I don't like to see people. I don't like, to tell you the truth, I used to beg and then me get signed. The little money I have from people, I just turn it around and just sell something. From that, it just go on because we started selling meatball. Start selling meatball. That was them time the meatball was for $90. Start selling one for $10. It's a lot quick. So we start from meatball to lollipop to free gel, coffee, lollipop, ginger, and ginger is a new product on the market.
You do research or you know it's the new product on the market?
I do research and I test them. Taste test them and see if them nice, see if them sell fast. Well, I had double mint, but them sell off quick. For me now, it's not my ability, it's not my disability, it's my ability. Putting my best foot forward. Cause you see, to these people nowadays, they want the easy life. They want to, their mind tell them say they want to beg. But if them say they want to go out there and work, they can. Their mind tell them different things.
A sentiment shared by Aaron, a leathersmith who makes and sells genuine leather products between Tropical and Premier Plazas in Halfway Tree.
You must be going to do but this better I'm going to do trouble, you know, I'm just going to do something. I'm basing this because it's a life of all we live. The youth don't live in trade, you know. So when I want to the youth, them bad is a gang to them, say, but you don't say that. They do a thing.
But you say you made this stuff. How you learn to do all of this?
No, I learn to do as a copy now. This is style I make. And draw a pattern. If you cut pattern, everything you see, a pattern make it. Every style you see, a pattern make it. So, a real work. A Jamaica this. And a Jamaica wear this. And the local wear, foreign wear, a Jamaican build, you start from scratch. And see, we start from scratch, we start off from this leather this in, turn it and do it thing, and son. Wallet. Or make the wallet them do it. Real stuff.
For Sweetie Man, his business is driving self-development.
Right now, I'm building a little room for myself out of the sweetie business.
Okay.
Yes.
So things are going?
Yeah, things are going.
And how long you say you're doing this for 4 years?
4 years. I want to hold my own company, but it start from small. That's why yesterday I'm doing this.
Alright, so you heard from Joel and you heard his story and how he didn't make his disability prevent his ability. But guess what? He has his walker here and he's making an appeal. Joel, what's the appeal you're making?
Yeah, I want that. I'm requesting a new walker because as you can see here, the wheel, the right wheel is giving me a problem, and it's bad for business. It's bad for me and the business because when I'm walking going down to transport center, the wheel is slowing me up. So I'm just making a small request for a new walker.
Well, I'm sure many of you will agree that today's episode of Small Biz Big Dreams was rather inspiring. We've seen persons with one person with a disability and another who believes the business should be booming a little better. How can you help? Help if you can. There will be contact details provided below. This was
Small Biz, Big Dreams.
Small Biz, Big Dreams. Dream big.
Indeed. Stay with us. There's much more to come after this break.
Watch the exclusive broadcast on CVM as the Jamaica Tourist Board proudly presents the annual Golden Tourism Awards ceremony. This prestigious event is dedicated to honoring tourism workers who have served 50 years or more in the industry. In addition to recognizing long-standing contributions, we will also highlight hotel partners who have played a pivotal role in the growth of the industry. Tune in Wednesday, February 19 at 8 p.m. and be part of the celebration of these golden achievements.
Hey you don't want no people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
Enjoy the things that matter. Family, friends, and the keys to your home.
The time by NHT is...
Good evening and welcome to Sports. I'm Jordan Fort. Let's kick things off with football. Montego Bay United will look to stop a mini skid when they host Tivoli Gardens in CVM TV's Monday match night at the Montego Bay Sports Complex today. Kickoff is at 7:45 and our reporter Ronaldo Adams is on location to give us a preview of what's to come. Ronaldo.
Good evening, Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us, viewers. The atmosphere here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex is not as electric as I anticipated it to be, but maybe that's what we should expect from a club and the fans who are not sure what to expect following the dismissal of former head coach Argentine Rodolfo Zapata. Nonetheless, I spoke with interim head coach Dylan Thelwell earlier, as well as the head coach of Tivoli Gardens, Jerome Wright. Let's check out what the coaches have to say. Coach Wright, what's the focus coming into tonight's match?
Well, the focus is to go there and enjoy the game of football. And once you can enjoy it, things will happen. Today, one of the objectives is to ensure that we keep a clean sheet against this Bobby team. As you know, they try to, win their games as early as, the first half and see how well they can defend. We plan to change up things a bit as it relates to that. So, I'm expecting a good game.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Coach Tyrell, you're the new man at the helm coming into tonight. What's the focus going into the game?
Well, the focus of tonight's game is to get maximum points based on, we've been struggling for the past 4 games, based on discussion with the players, to go out here and work hard, leave everything on the pitch, and hopefully we can change the fortune for the last 4 games that we have in negative results.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. All the best tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Ronaldo, thank you so much for that. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
Personally, I am definitely looking forward to Montego Bay United grabbing another 3 points. They're currently 3rd on the table, and I'm sure the fans are also yearning to climb that table and regain their spot and chase down the leaders, Mount Pleasant.
All right, thank you so much. Of course, we'll have kickoff and live action of that contest starting at 7:45. Meanwhile, in the early kickoff, leaders Mount Pleasant thumped Humble Lion 5-0 at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. Mount Pleasant got going through Daniel Green, who opened the scoring in the 6th minute. Green then notched his second, this time from the penalty spot in minute 24. And it was 3-0 when Alex Marshall found the target in the 58th minute. That there is a look at Daniel Green's second goal. This is the 3rd goal now from Alex Marshall in minute 58. James Howell then got his name on the score sheet to make it 4-0. And this is the strike that made it 4-0 before Green completed his hat-trick for the comfortable win for Mount Pleasant. Here's a look at the 3rd goal from Daniel Green. That made it 5-0 to leaders Mount Pleasant. To women's football now, Reggae Girls captain and leading striker Khadija Bunny Shaw is a notable absentee from the 23-player squad that coach Hubert Busby has named to face Peru in a 2-match away friendly international series in Lima on February 23 and 26. Coach Busby will have 6 forwards at his disposal, namely Tiffany Cameron, Kayla McKenna, Shaniel Buckley, Jody Brown, Rihanna Blades and Rishka Walker. Now, Atlanta Primus, Najiri Butts, Amelia Van Zanten, Drew Spence, Jade Bailey and Olufola Sade Adamalekan are the options in midfield, while the back line will be marshalled by any of the combination of Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, Naya Cardosa, Siobhan Wilson, Jasmine Ferguson, Denisha Blackwood, Cameron Simmons and Naima Ingleton. Rebecca Spencer, Alia Morgan and Leah Brooks are the goalkeeping options. Coach Busby addressed the most glaring omission.
Yesterday was her first start in 2025. She's been out for a while and she's had limited minutes. She's still a little bit on restrictions. And so, Man City is monitoring her progress in terms of, her coming back in. And obviously we respect that as well. It was great to see, her get her start and her get her 2 goals yesterday. But I think it's outside of that, which was appalling, as we know. Yes, she needed obviously some time, but I think she took the time and Man City supported her taking the time and she made that decision to come back in due course. And she was back in flying colors in the last couple of games. But really, I think it's in terms of load management. And we've had a couple other those players that we've called in as well, where clubs have shared some of their data with us and been in contact with our medical people as well. And so, decisions in terms of bringing players in are also made with that in mind. So that's part of the reason why she's not in the squad.
And finally this evening, St. Elizabeth Technical staved off a strong challenge from William Knibb on the boys' side and dominated on the girls' side as Western Championships came to an end this past weekend at GC Foster College. A return to the familiar Western region for Neil Harrison has seen continued success for St. Elizabeth Technical High School, STETS. Harrison, who led several successful teams at Monroe College for more than a decade and a half, says he's pleased to have tasted success with one-time rivals STETS in his first year at the helm. But winning the Western Champs boys title wasn't without its challenges, as William Knibb ensured it wasn't a walk in the park. Though the Stets boys tallied 333.5 points, William Knibb were only 30 points behind with 303.5.
The William team, I've been noticing them all season. They are a very good bunch. They have been doing well all season. But it's about strategy, how you utilize your athletes. I realize that they are quite good all-rounded, but we were quite weak, for example, in the throws, but we in order to be competitive and to stay in touch, we know that once it comes down to the relays, we would have pretty much dominated the relays. And so it was a strategy that we put in place to ensure that we are in close contention, and once we are in close contention, we know that the boys would have delivered.
On the girls' side, it was a lot 104 points ahead of second place Mount Alvernia. The girls in blue and gold won the 4x4 to crown their winning performance. In the meantime, Zachary Wallace of Magotty High, who was fourth in the 400 metres at the ISA Boys and Girls Championships last year, was among the standout performers at GC Foster College. Wallace won the Class 1 Boys 100 in 10.61 seconds into a 3.8 metre per second headwind.
I feel excitement bouncing back from 2 years out of this spotlight, a champs medal, and just battling injury and just come back and just refocus.
A lot will be expected of the likes of Mushet's Shanoya Douglas and Lacovia's Sabrina Dockery when the March 25 to 29 ISA Boys and Girls Championships rolls around. The pair showed their quality at the Western Champs, topping their respective events. Dockery won the Class 1 200 metres in 24.25 seconds into a negative wind of 1.5 metres per second. Douglas, the World Under-20 200 metre bronze medalist, won the 100 metres for Class 2 girls. The Central Championships will begin on Tuesday and end on Wednesday at the same venue. And that's it for sports. I'm Jordan Fort. Over to Nika at the news desk.
Thank you, Jordan. And that's it for CVM News at 7. Thanks for having joined us. I'm Nika Lewis. From all of us here at CVM TV, pleasant viewing. But remember, CVM TV's Monday Match Night matchup begins right after this.
Save so you can live your best life with your Jane Bank savings. You absolutely can. The time by Jane.
You think you could have get in on my feelings? You could have get me if you cycle down. Hey, Miggy, I hit and run. Miggy, I hit and run. Hey, it's a girl Shenseea representing for CVM TV. See it happen. Oh.
And really and truly find themselves in a position where a spot in the playoffs is cemented for them.
Yeah, both teams are chasing, as you said, different positions, but they start the day